Why are we so excited?
Because we just sat here and had a conversation with Henry Earle and Brad Konopacke, and they are the winners. Each of them took home today $5,000, but in total $8,500 a piece, because they won this first annual fixed ops competition that we did. It was so much fun. It was so long. Such a good time. And then, you know, we got a chance to sit down with the winners and really just hear a little bit, learn about them some. So Henry was literally cooking in kitchens like a few months ago. And he came here, he excelled at everything that we taught him to do, won the money. And then Brad's been doing this for a while.
Since 2012, he said?
Yeah, since 2012. An advisor at Lexus of Greenville came in here, knocked the socks off the judges, left with an additional $5,000. So
and them talking about understanding how it works on his end and how they give the assist to each other to get the big win. It was like Disneyland, just watching them go. You know what I mean? So like super excited to share this episode. Check it out right now.
Check it out. Are sitting here today with Brad Konopacke. With Brad Konopacke.
Like up on screen.
and Henry Earle. And they have both brought in the first place win. So Brad in the Advisor Walkaround competition, Henry in the video MPI competition. Both of them are walking away today with an additional $5,000. And they actually, from this contest, take home $8,500.
Yeah. That's
not nothing, right? That's
big money.
Nothing. And we got Christmas coming up.
Yep.
Can I ask, like, and it's, forgive me, this is just, but like, any plans for that?
Yes.
For that?
What are you gonna do next?
Yes. I am doubling down and reinvesting in my company by buying a used car.
Let's go!
So I'm not even joking at all. The plan is if everything goes the way I want, I'll wait until my taxes hit in the spring. So the down payment will be big.
Nice.
I'm busting my behind since I basically started, and I was like, they were like, everybody's like, oh, you get a pretty good deal if you work on cars. And I was like, shit, ours are going bad. Maybe we should start working on credit. So credit score's up over 600 finally for the first time since I've been 18, and they gave me one.
Let's go.
I got some money set aside now. Taxes will come.
Yeah, dude.
And then
you got this.
we'll
And you
utilize
got a family, right?
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old and 3-year-old.
Young.
A lady.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So I got a 4-door Audi that's 20 years old and leaks everywhere.
I got an old Volkswagen. Let's go.
And Rinks premium fuel like there's no tomorrow. It's so expensive.
And Henry, you've got 50 some odd dealerships worth of inventory to choose from, and you get the employee discount at any one of them.
We have a revised associate purchase policy that is rolling out. We just shot a video with
every
TC.
Single store.
Every single store, you get employee pricing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might not get a Rover or a Pathfinder in here. I have to drive down to the
That's hilarious.
I can't let my lady hear that one.
Yeah, man.
So we want the Tron with the 4 doors. Yeah, right. I'll show her this. She'll be like, whoa.
But you're right. Everybody corporate. But like one of our first core value is like the people are the key to our success. And it's like, okay, it's time to double down and like really help them understand that. Okay, that's true. It's the follow through. So it's like, is it easy to utilize the benefit of being at a large outfit with the intentionality of a small? Well, now it will be, because they're going to have like guaranteed fixed pricing on that stuff.
Cool.
And we shot a video with TC about it. It's rolling out. But
I don't know who that is.
TC Staten's the CEO.
TC?
Staten.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Staten. Oh, TC is his name. I thought it was an abbreviation for something. I'm sorry, Mr. TC. I'm sure you've seen this.
First time I had him on the show and I got his name wrong. Stanton.
Nice.
It's not Stanton. He was like, oh, shoot. What about you, man? What do you want to do?
So this money is going to be going. My wife and I talked about. We plan on buying another puppy. I got
Cool.
a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old, and that's gonna be their Christmas present.
Okay, awesome.
We got one old man. He's Remington. He's 9 years old, golden retriever, and we want to bring some youth back in him, and we are going to get a puppy and just throw it into this house of madness and see what happens.
Have some sleepless nights.
Yeah.
It's like, honey, are you sure you want to do this? This is what you want to do? You sure you want to do this? We're gonna go right back into it. Okay. So
Yeah, I feel you on the sleepless nights with the kids and the dogs.
Yes.
That'd be
Oh
fun.
boy.
Tell me more. What would I need to know about you?
What would you need to know about me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Well, as far as the automotive industry goes, I started in sales actually. It was when before you guys came and purchased us, it was through Asbury.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off at the Toyota dealership as a car salesman, worked there for a little bit, and maybe about 4 months or so. And there was a golf outing that transpired, and I ended up playing with one of the service managers of our store. He was in my group,
Okay.
and we really hit it off. And he was just like, "Hey, why don't you come and try sales?" I was like, I don't know a rotor from a brake pad from a fitting kit. I don't know anything. And he's like, "Don't worry about that. We'll figure out a way to get it done." So I ended up transitioning to service. I feel like I've thrived. I've been in it since 2012.
Wow.
And worked my way up, got moved over to Lexus. And you guys ended up purchasing our store, I think it was in 19. And honestly, I'm super glad you guys did, because this is incredible. Hudson has been seeing both sides of it. Hudson, I would say Asbury is definitely more on the corporate side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely don't get that vibe whatsoever here. And I'll use an instance of it. When I went to Johnson City for the regionals,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept telling Scott Farrell and the guys up there, I was like, this does not feel like a corporate event, or not even just a gathering. This is like family up here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is incredible. It was really eye-opening to what Hudson is all about. And I'm really excited to be here. And so working in the automotive industry, I love it. It wears on you, sure. But this stuff right here, these events like this, make it all the more better. So I'm really happy to be here.
Hardest job in the dealership, right?
I would say that we are the face. Because when you buy a car from a salesperson, you see them once every couple of years.
Yeah, maybe.
The customers come and see us every 3 to 6 months. And so I would definitely say, not to toot our own horn as a service advisor, but we are the face.
I got you.
And, we are the face of the dealership, and we really try to strive to make sure, we want our customers coming back. So that's the whole point of this thing. I feel like this really kind of shows what the necessary steps are in retaining our clients. And the other thing is, it's crazy. We should maybe do some more videos in the back end of it, because folks really don't know what these guys do back here.
Yeah.
Now I say we're the face, but they're the back of the house, and without them,
Yeah.
we are nothing. In a sense of, we're not gonna be able to repair cars if we don't have guys like
See,
you.
without you, you mitigate when I'm ticked off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Never met you a day in my life, but as a technician, there's very moments where we're very frustrated, or most of the time the technicians are not the people guys to be talking to the customer like that.
Yeah.
So you guys do a good job of
So you guys run interference
polishing
for
it.
each other.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Absolutely.
I would, so if I was inside the dealership, which I'm not.
She's like, yes.
If I was inside the dealership, I would totally be on the service side, right? Because I feel like there's so much more fun to be had there, and it's where my focus is. I feel like, when I took over this role, there's stuff for salespeople all over the place.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I couldn't find much of anything on the service side. I couldn't find stuff for advisors. I couldn't find a lot of stuff for technicians. And so I'm so that was one of my first missions, is how do I really help support the fixed op side of things? Because really you guys are, both of you, but our advisors have more opportunities than anybody else to make or break our reputation
Sure.
in the dealership.
Yep.
And yet for most dealerships, most auto groups, most people, us, we throw the advisors out and we're like, here, shadow with somebody for a little bit, and then
Go get 'em, Tiger.
and then figure it out, right? Do you feel like, do you feel like that's the case?
Well, when I first started, that's exactly what the case was. But I feel like we do a little bit better of like trying to work their way in, putting them in the training. I don't feel that we have that same aspect here, so to speak. But yes, as an advisor, it is so much to learn. There's so many systems to put together. And on top of that, you have to learn how to deal with the customers, which I think is one of the biggest hurdles out of everything. You got the computer systems, you got your X-Time, you got your CDK, you've got your multi-point inspection tool, your video, list goes on. And I would say from someone that comes in as a greenhorn and they see that, they're just like, oh, what did I just get myself into?
Yeah, Pandora's box, right?
Yeah, holy cow.
I was working with the team, so we're working on putting together like a first 14 days for a service advisor. Really, like what do we expect from them? A new service advisor, first 30, 60, 90 days. What does it look like? And I started with like, what systems do they need? And you're right, like that list just kept going and kept going and kept going. And I was like, anything else? And well, what about Mock? And they need Carfax and TrueCar, and they need Redcap and Lyft, and they need this one, and they need that one, and Excella and TWS, and they need that.
The list goes on.
It's just like acronyms. It's just
and I'm like, well, what does this one do? What does this one do? What does this one do?
Carfax is.
And every single one of them had a different, like it's a different platform that the advisors have to use, and they're like, yeah, but then for the first 30 days, we expect our advisors, and I'm telling you, this is like this list just kept going and kept going. In the first 30 days, our advisors are supposed to, be able to functionally navigate
that and have somebody that's like upset looking at him like, hurry up.
Yeah,
right.
Hurry up.
Oh,
yeah. Let's go.
Customers put the pressure on you. They really do.
Yeah. And do you think that's one of the things that most people don't quite appreciate about that role in particular? It's like it's not only it's keeping all this hard drive space spinning with all this stuff, but then being able to distill it down and showing the customer that you care about their time, not their, you know what I mean? Like putting it all together.
Unfortunately, that is the most important part of everything. It's the customer. The saying is the customer is always right in that sense. We really try to cater to the customer 110% of the time. And we have to deal with, there's customers that are great, come in, they're easy to deal with. And then you have customers that come in with problems and you have to be able to break down that wall and really try to reel them in. It's a tough thing to do. Yeah.
And understand that it's not you, right? It's not about you.
No, they're definitely coming in.
It's my car broke down. I need to get to work. I got to pick my kids up. I got to do this thing. I don't have the money for the, you know what I mean? Like this unexpected,
variables.
like the car breaking down is always like an unexpected expense. So
nobody
many
wakes
people
up like, sweet, we're gonna lose it, whatever.
They're not like, I'm gonna save money, every month just in case my car breaks down one day. So it's
you're having a
always
bad day.
like
40% to 60% chance you're having a bad day because you're here.
When you have to spend thousands of dollars and you really don't see it, it makes it very. It's like. I always describe coming to a dealership, it's like going to a dentist. Who likes going to a dentist, right? Not very many people do. But you've got to be able to break down that wall and really try to retain the customer quickly, because if you don't, you're going to have a hard day with that customer. You're not going to be able to communicate properly. There's going to be, they're not going to be able to come across as, we need to have this done in the car, but at the same time, they're sitting there in the back of their mind, I do not want to be here right now.
Yeah, like
when you buy a brand new car or you buy a house, you're getting some blinds, you're seeing all that. When you buy a set of tires, you're like, well, they're round, they're black.
They used to be made
I just
of rubber.
spent $1,300 on this. What is this?
Even more so if it's something more internal, then it's
something.
like,
it's something not tangible. You can't see it, so it makes it tough.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that is the reason that the video MPI is such a big deal, and why we're having competitions and trying to get people to, utilize it, have a high utilization. And that's because a customer, like at the very least, they're seeing what we're asking them to spend money for.
Yeah.
Right? So not the same as buying a new car or buying a new house, but Henry's here is able to be like, okay, you see this fluid and you see this fluid, that's why we're asking you to change this. Do you see these brake rotors, right? And when we can show it to them on video instead of just being like, yeah, the technician recommended that we change your brakes and we do brake fluid exchange, and that's going to be $600. And they're like, nope. But but when Henry goes, here, this is what a good brake rotor looks like, this is what yours look like, then the customer looks at it and they can be like, oh, yeah, that might be a problem, right? And then we have a higher acceptance rate of our recommendations.
And the videos
that's why it's so important.
Yeah, the videos really
deal.
go a long way in expressing exactly and putting value into things that we're showing them, so it's not just like, brown and black tires, $1,400. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'd say it's come a long way. Back in the day when you had to pencil write the recommendations, all you got is a little scribble on a piece of paper.
I don't know about that. The closest I come to that is carbon paper in a restaurant. So.
And you got a couple of boxes, red, green, yellow, check here, check here. The video really goes way above and beyond that. So I'm really glad we had that.
With the video, do you feel like there's like a high acceptance rate among the techs? Is it like, maybe I'll do the MPI, or do you think everybody can appreciate what it can actually accomplish if leveraged correctly, or is there a space to build more awareness about how powerful that is?
So that's a tough question, right? So being completely transparent, even myself didn't see a ton of value to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
So I've done videos when I did my brief HVAC stint, we did something similar. So I had a little bit of experience doing the video. So I understand where the perspective was coming from. It took me really understanding to rely on you more to do the selling and to literally just be like, this is silver, this is gold, this is broken, this is not, right? Essentially. And then you're the sales dude, so kind of just give you ammunition, so to speak, and then you just go to the range with it, right? So when I first started doing it, I was doing more of hey, this is when you should change it, and this is why, and you can expect. And so my videos are taking too long, and I'm putting too much time. And then also at the same time, you got to remember, I'm as fresh meat as the game gets still, right? So I'm also trying to learn all this at the same time, and it became too much to the point where I just, for lack of a better word, felt like it was a waste of time, right? And especially being fresh, I don't ever have a full encompassed view of it yet. And then. So I went to the class here that we did, the training class here, and so that helped me out a lot. That helped, Rob kind of broke things down for me and explained that it's not always, you don't have to explain to him how it works and why it works. That's why we have an advisor. You're just there to provide basically a viewport, right? It's if you were sitting inside a submarine, you just want to not a
fly on the wall.
But a boat.
I'm with you.
They want to look out the window.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just so they can kind of have a perspective into watching. And so that helped a lot. And then felt like I was doing really well. And then another part of understanding it is I feel like people like yourself who've been in the industry for a little while, especially in technician side, guys who've been doing it 20 years, they understand the game. They know. Somebody for me, I'm over here dude, I'm making these videos, nothing's selling, I'm about to be flat rate. And it's one of those things where the upset customer, building block starts to build, and then frustration happens, and it never is. So the contest alone just kind of helped me be okay, cool, well, let me just focus on making good videos, so then I can just go win something, and then making the videos to win for the store. First two I made sold $1,000+ jobs. Right? So I literally said oh man.
Maybe.
Just put my foot in my mouth real quick and start making these videos.
Need these crowbar real quick.
And so that was 9-hour day and then 10-hour day. And then it's business, so I had a slow day after that and it's whatever. But then I had another and just a couple average days in a row where I was things were beginning to turn over a little bit. And so that helped. And then I won the store. And it's kind of again, so swing the pendulum in the other direction, right? So then the building blocks kind of just started going in a good direction. And it's just I like the word perspective a lot. I'm a huge, big advocate of that word because it's literally why we have problems on Earth, because people just don't understand each other's problems.
It's you only think about yourself.
With your blinders
your
on,
blinders,
right? So you gotta take them off and
this is how I feel. This is how you made me feel,
yes,
right?
Exactly. And you need to sit back and a lot of it just comes down to I've heard the word in here a couple of times, and since last I think ego, it takes a lot of pushing that to the side. Coming out of the kitchen, that's not something we do. That give me more of it, if anything. And so I've done a lot of thanking guys around, and you and everybody to just kind of it's not normal at like, I'm 28, so I'm like a full grown adult, you know what I mean? I got my own family, but it's not like normal as an adult to be like given a space in the public eye where you can still kind of learn and grow and become you without like getting a lot of scrutiny. You know what I mean? Like that's what's cool about the shop is like every little bay is kind of like its own business or something, you know, like you're managing, you're trying to make the soil, you're trying to make sure things are done properly. You guys even more so.
That's a
you
great
can
way to
choose who
describe it.
can
You run your
call.
own business exactly how you want.
Right, and so it's cool because like at the same time I have like a first-hand resource. I can walk to the left or to the right or go to my boss or I mean at this rate it feels like I can email you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so it's really cool. You know what I mean? And the videos, it just kind of, it's hard to like put into words, but it all just kind of like comes at once. So, you know, like I've never been a big fan of corporate anything.
Yeah.
Coming out of kitchens, those are the worst ones to work in.
Yes.
Absolutely. The food's
Sure,
frozen,
yeah.
they want it out in 5 minutes, they don't care what they pay you, you know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And then you were talking about coming from Asbury,
yeah.
I think you called it, right? So I like to call what we have. Sorry, I don't want to say y'all. I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, I'm still new enough where I'm learning it all. And it feels weird to fit into this. Like I actually feel like I'm a part of something now.
It's a little family.
And so I like to say like we're like a small big company.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like we're not, this isn't Hendrick, right? I mean, come on. Dude's got like 1 million dealerships and NASCAR teams and Indy teams. But we're big enough where like, you can drive down to Florida and you can drive to Tennessee and wherever and be like, oh yeah, bought my car from that guy. Or you're big enough where like there's commercials on TVs and stuff I've seen, and we have, you know, it's like it's not just like
it's not a one store. It's not like a one store
even like
family
just
thing.
a Charleston thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really when I first started I was like, oh, there's like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then like 2 months they're like, yeah, we're like acquiring like 10 more dealerships. So that puts us at like 60 something. And I was like, what? And then I remember going home that night and I was like, Hudson, yada yada. And then it like pulled up our dealerships and I was like, no, it's not. And I went and found like the actual website for the corporate side of things. And I was like, oh, we own like all types of stuff. Dude, I didn't know we had a Lexus. And I thought it was strictly Nissans. And so I appreciate the amount of importance you guys put being a small, big company on back into the company.
And you know, it's so funny that you say that because it's that way for so many of our employees. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this between 2 cars and we wanted to do this between 2 cars is because we really want to like shine a little bit of a light behind the scenes because we do have employees that are like, this is my store. I thought, you know, Hudson was only Nissan. I thought Hudson was only this Honda store, right? Like they don't know.
Yeah.
And so how do we like help them understand that like, because you being a part of something so much bigger, like just opens up the door for opportunities, right? Like there are just so many more opportunities
For sure.
when you realize like, oh, there's Honda and Toyota and Ford and Nissan and Lexus and all of these, right? When there's, 50 plus dealerships that if I needed to relocate, like I've got family over there, I want to go over there, or hey, I don't want to be doing this forever. I want to get to that next level and do the next thing. And maybe that role's not opening up here, but there are 50 some other places that I can, have an opportunity to go do that next thing at if that's what I want to do. And so it's really such a great, like, because we have, because we are bigger, we have so many more opportunities, and just like opening up the windows and letting people like start to realize that, I think is really cool.
That's kind of how it feels from go ahead, my bad.
No, please.
That's how it feels from my perspective, though. It's like, again, like, I mean, corporations don't have a good name. I don't care whose you are.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, except for this one, that's where I'm coming to. You know what I mean? Like, like the money's great, it's super cool, but like being able to talk to people who like sign the checks or their names on the building, things like that, and like, the guys who do the training and all of like the people who like are the guys and ladies that you never see and the ones who are doing, and then it's
they all showed up today.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah. It puts like a realism behind it. Like this is like a real life thing, not just some person in an office. Yeah, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. It's tangible. Like it's there. Like these.
Yes. And you're right. And like what you're saying, it's almost like if we can have like the intentionality of a small company with the resources of a big company,
right?
Like put it in a paint mixer and just like let it go to town. Like
it's kind of like look for that.
You're right. Yeah, right. And that's the kind of stuff that can change like family trees and like your career path.
For
and
sure.
it's like,
We all have nicknames
Yeah.
for each other.
Really?
Oh, tell us more.
Yeah. Yeah. yes,
Evan
please.
is E-Dub. I think Jason calls me Big Fella.
Big
or
fella,
something.
yeah.
I feel
Little
like
fella.
Jason calls
Everybody, big fella or little fella.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, did you call me fat? No, just fluffy.
Just fluffy. That's right.